and welcome to the podcast. My name is Kristen. I hope you're all doing amazingly. This is episode 69 and I have a few things to talk about today. I have some news about the studio, I have knitting, I have a finished object, and I've got a new works in progress, and I've got some sewing. So yeah, I hope you're all well. I'm just going to jump right in. So in the studio this last couple of weeks we have had major supply issues. Just recently we changed over a supplier, and yes, there's always a few kinks at the beginning, particularly when you're ordering in large quantities of yarn. And I don't think this company has ever shipped to Australia before, so they had to work out the logistics of what company and how they were going to send these large packages. So yes, the first two packages arrived fine. They actually used TNT, which is great because we have just down the road a TNT depot. And they know us, and they know we're a yarn business, and we've used them for years. So they've always been very good, so they know where to deliver our things, and yeah. So the first two, yeah, like I said, packages were not an issue at all, but the next couple of packages, which I ordered 2 weeks running, because what I do is I normally order every week, and it's for 2 to 3 weeks in advance, so I make sure that we have yarn coming in early so I can dye up the yarn for the update, but I always have it so there's at least 3 weeks. So I did 2 weeks running, and both weeks with this new freight company, the yarn just sort of went haywire, the packages went haywire. The company shipped the yarn, it went to the airport, and then it came back to them, and then it went to the airport, then it came back to them. It was just crazy. It was just like to and fro. The company that we are going through are excellent. They're really helpful. They were great. In the end, they actually refunded our shipping for us for both packages, because we ended up almost having to shut down for a week or two until our yarns came. It was really quite nail-biting, and when you're a small business and you rely on your business for pay, and there's both of us, Paul and I, it was really nerve-wracking. I honestly thought we'd have to close down. I mean, I have obviously we put money away just in case, and we're sort of all very organised like that. I mean, I've been doing this for 8 years now, so I've got it all sorted pretty much. But when something like this happens, I mean, one shipment going haywire and not arriving in time, I can deal with that, but 2 in a row, it was just horrendous. Anyway, so then that happened, and then because we're buying in bulk, and in Australia, if you buy things from overseas and they come in and they're over $1,000, then you have to pay customs, which is fine. It's 10% customs fee, 5% duty. And then if you go through, you can get your own broker. I haven't done that, but if you go through the company, who is the freight company, they normally add on a little bit of extra for them, for their broker, I guess, to work out the costs and whatever. Anyway, usually I just get sent a bill, it's not a problem, and then I pay it, and then straight away it's released. With this company, because the freight company that the suppliers used, they don't have a freight company here in Australia, so they had to use like a local business. They sort of on-sell, I guess, and yeah, trying to get through customs with them, it was quite horrendous. Anyway, so yeah, it's been quite nail-biting. Anyway, right at the last moment, which was Monday this week, the parcel came, one box came. So I was so grateful, because it was this week that I had really nothing to put on the shop. So it arrived Monday, I unpacked it, and then I dyed it up on Tuesday. So whew, just in the nick of time. And we actually ordered in, what was it that I ordered in? I'm trying to think. Oh, that's right, we ordered in a new MCN base. Our old MCN base was great, but it was very tightly plied. And when you tightly ply a yarn, it takes away a bit of the slickness and smoothness. So it doesn't feel as soft as what it normally would. So I quite liked the yarn, but it wasn't, I don't know, it just didn't look like a luxe sort of MCN base to me. Because of the ply, it was very, very tightly plied. Anyway, this new yarn that's come in is so beautiful. It's just a normal sort of medium ply, I don't know what you call it. It's not tight, it's not loose, it's, you know, normal. And it feels so soft, and it's got this really nice silky look. And I swatched with it the other day. And it's beautiful. It takes up the colour really nicely. I'm like over the moon about this yarn, so we'll be getting more in. So yes, I'm still waiting for the next box to arrive. It went through customs yesterday, it cleared. So I'm hoping it'll be here tomorrow or Monday. Anyway. Fun. Apart from that, I've been still dyeing up my tonal colours and going back through our archives and dyeing up old colours, and just having a bit of fun, sort of mixing things up a bit. I did actually dye up some speckles this week, sorry. And the moisture problem that I was having, that I spoke about last week, that seems to have gotten better, so that's great. The dye isn't clumping up. And yeah, I suppose we're actually in autumn now, and even though it is really still quite hot and humid, it's not like what it was like in summer, where it was just humidity 90%, crazy. So yeah. The other news from the studio is today, Stephen and Penelope, who is Stephen West, and the actual owner is Malia, but it's Penelope Craft, used to be called Penelope Craft, in Amsterdam. They have released their Yarn Along news, and we are one of the dyers, so we are so excited. So there's 3 yarn companies involved this year. There is Labi and Ami, who is in France. There is Ushitita, and there is us. So we're really excited. There's also going to be 3 other companies who are giving, what do you call it, knitting supplies. So Field Supply is one of them. Coco Knits is another one, and then there was another company, but I can't remember their name. I'll put it down below. Anyway, it's really exciting. So if you want a fun yarn along, and of course there are patterns that come with the yarns. There's no spoilers. I'm not allowed to say too much because it's all secret. But there's one-off colorways, and yeah, lots of fun. So I will put a link down below so you can read more about it. I don't know if they've actually released prices, and they haven't released all the news yet. It's just who's involved. So yeah, I'll put a link in to Stephen and Penelope, and you can read more. It's very exciting. So, on to knitting. I've caught the design bug lately. I was really happy just to knit other people's patterns. I sort of didn't really have brain power for designing until recently, and for some reason I just all of a sudden want to dive in and knit up and design lots of stuff. Yes, so designed a new shawl, and this is using our Uptown sock yarn in two colours that I haven't named yet. But this is it here. I just finished blocking it, so I haven't woven in the ends or anything, but I showed you a little bit of this I think last week, but it's all done. So it sort of starts off in a stockinette stitch top. It's triangular shaped, obviously, and then it goes into these lovely sort of lace sections, one lace panel, back to stockinette, another lace panel, and then at the end it's a twisted stitch rib. And yeah, it's huge. I have written the pattern up. I'm just finishing one of the charts, and I'll probably finish that today, and then I'm sending it to the tech editor, and she's usually really quick with small projects like this. So I'm thinking next week I will be putting up a call out, I guess, on Instagram for Tess knitters. It's a 3 skein shawl, so this first contrast colour is 1 skein, and then you need 2 skeins of this last contrast colour. And you don't, I think you use 1.5 skeins for the second, and almost a full skein for the first. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. Yeah, I've just got to weave in the ends and then take some pictures, and it's done. So yeah. What else? Oh, I started a new cardigan. So this is, I spoke about our new Polworth base last week, and oh god, it's stuck. So this is a new cardigan that I have designed, coming up with the design as I go. It's a very simple, it's like the most simple construction you could ever knit in a cardigan. And I'm not going to say too much, but over the course of however many weeks it takes me to knit it, I'll sort of post spoiler pictures, and then you can see how it all sort of comes together. But this is it at the moment, as you can see. It's sort of a cute little diamond lace, and I've started off with a garter stitch section. And yeah, this is our Polworth yarn, which I talked about last week, and it's a really nice yarn. Some people might think it might be a bit scratchy. It's like I've said, it's very similar to BFL. And this colourway is called Storm, and this is one of our tonals. It's got sort of a brown and grey and a little pop of purple. It's really quite pretty. So yes, this is the next thing. So I've been knitting on this at night, and yeah, the lace is very simple. It's like 8 stitch repeat, I think, and yeah, so yeah. That's it really for my knitting. I do have other works in progress that I haven't touched that I talked about last time, but yeah, I won't show them because I haven't really done any work. And everything, of course, is in my lovely bag that I got from Give Me a Crown, and it's got, like, at the moment it's holding about 3 different projects. But it's great, I just grab it and I know that there's something in there that I can knit on. It's fantastic. Thanks, Nina. And I'll put a link to her shop down below, and you can check her bags out. Okay, in the mail I received my copy of the lovely Interpretations by Hohi Locatelli and Vera Valimaki. So we were lucky enough to be part of Interpretations Volume 5. And every dyer got their own copy, which was just so lovely. And yeah, I haven't actually, I got this yesterday in the mail, so I haven't had a really good look at the book itself. I'm actually going to sit down this afternoon once I've finished work and go through it. But I can say that it is beautiful quality. It's by Ponte Publishing. And yeah, they've done a fantastic job. The paper is gorgeous, the photos are stunning. It's all been set in Argentina, and I am dying to go to Argentina. It's beautiful. I'll show you. This is, I think that's all of the designs together. It's really worth getting this for your library. I mean, there's just so many wearable pieces in here. I could knit pretty much all of them. I love them all. I think they're fantastic. So yeah, big thanks to Hohi and Vera. I love that. It's stunning. Which yarn did she use for this? Neighbourhood Fibre. So yeah, if you haven't got a copy, go and grab it. It's certainly worth having for your library. Like I said, it's so beautiful, and even just a coffee table book just to pick up and flick through. It's just stunning. So yeah, the other thing that I'm getting in the mail, so now we're sort of going into sewing, is I have been watching Stitch Sisters, which is a podcast, sewing podcast. And they recently sewed an Estelle Ponte jacket by Largo, and I will put a picture up here of the pattern. And it just, I loved it. It just looks so good. One of them, I think it's, what's her name? She's got blonde hair. Oh, I can't remember. She made like a navy blue. It was out of a double knit fabric, and basically all it is, it's a very long jacket out of a Ponte knit. So Ponte knit is kind of a medium to heavyweight fabric, knit fabric, and by the looks of it, well, it's a very, very simple pattern, so if you're a beginner it's a perfect one. And basically it's not finished around the neckline. It's just because you can cut knit fabric and it doesn't unravel. So yeah, it's just very minimally done, and yes, quite easy. So I actually bought some Ponte knit, which is like a really beautiful deep burgundy from Tessuti Fabrics, who's in Sydney, and it's arriving today, so I'm really, really excited. I've never actually bought fabric from their store, and I've been eyeing off loads of their fabrics, and they have really good patterns as well. So I might have started a bit of an obsession, maybe. Anyway, I really can't wait for that. I actually have to print the pattern off. I don't have it here, and I'm going to have to go into work to print it off because I don't have a printer here at home. And yeah, today's a home, work from home day, so yeah, I'll probably go in tomorrow and print that off, and hopefully the fabric will arrive today, and then I can sew it up on the weekend and then show you guys next time I podcast. I have finished a few things though. One of them is a new pattern that I printed off called the Largo top by Hey June. That's it there. You can, it is sewn, the sample is on the bias, the fabric's cut on the bias, and it has a tie at the front, but there are modifications that you can do, and the pattern takes you through it, of cutting the front on the fold, so you don't have to cut it on the bias and in two pieces, which is what I did. I actually altered it and cut the front on the fold, and yeah, I didn't have the tie, and I'm actually wearing it. So this is a Largo top, and I'll just stand up and show you. So it actually sits longer at the back and then shorter at the front, but for me it's a bit too short. I actually would have liked for it to have come down another, like say another 2 inches, but that's easy. Next time I make this, and there will be a next time, because I have worn this top I've washed it already twice. I wear it a lot. I really like it. I've actually made this out of a very lightweight rayon, and you can make this pattern out of any sort of woven fabric. But yes, the rayon just feels so nice, and I wore it with jeans, and it sort of sits right on my waist, and luckily my jeans are high-waisted. But if I do like lift my arms up, then it does ride up and you can see stomach. So what I will be doing is next time just adding another 2 inches, which is really simple. I made 2 of these tops too. I made one for myself and then I made one for Mum. And I sent Mum's off, but I wish I had have known about the length issue because I would have lengthened it. But anyway, it's fine. If you wear a little cami underneath, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's a key Largo top, and I will be making more. I like this style. I'm not too keen about having the tie, but I do like the modification of the cutting the front on the fold and then just sewing it up. It's really simple. It's like 2 sleeves and a front and a back, and it's really simple. I actually did the bias binding neckline. So I just had a little piece of light cotton bias binding, and I just did both the necklines of mine and Mum's the same way, and it turned out really nicely. You can, I think next time what I'll do if I make it out of this lightweight fabric is I will cut the bias binding from the fabric, because I think even though this was a lightweight cotton, it's still a bit thick, so the neckline does have a tendency to kind of pop out a little bit. But anyway, as you go you learn. But yeah, it's great. I just bought this fabric. It was on sale at Spotlight. It was really cheap. I think you basically need 1.5 meters, and yeah, it's a really good top. The other top I have to go and grab because I forgot. So voila, the other top that I made is the Pussybow blouse. This is by Sew Over It, and this would have to be one of my favourite makes ever, I think. I did a Charlie caftan a while ago. That was just before we left for Greece, and that's probably the favourite make so far, and this is very close to that make. I absolutely love how this turned out. So I used again another rayon. You can use any sort of lightweight drapey fabric. So I'll stand up. So that's it here. Fits perfectly. It's exactly the right length. It's got the nice little tie at the front. There is another option. So I did the V-neck long, but then you can have like the V-neck underneath and then the tie come up higher. But I actually preferred this, and I really love it. There's like a little cuff detail. Yeah, it's just really nice. Yeah, I am actually making, I have another Pussybow blouse cut out that I have to sew up. But yes, I will be making more. They're really comfortable. It's going to be great in winter. It's a bit hot today, and it's it's actually quite hot wearing this. But yes, I really like it. I like the oversized print as well. I think it looks really nice. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I think for this week. Yep. So I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you in another 2 weeks. This sort of schedule seems to be working out really well, because 1 week I do a blog post and the next week I do a podcast. So it seems to be the way to go. Okay, so I'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time. Take care and see you then. Bye.